I would not ever want to pass up an opportunity to share an experience with my channel. So here we go. We're crossing the Mississippi River in the great state of Mississippi. I think it's very interesting too. Look at this little combo bridge. Look at, there you have it, the Mississippi River, if you can see it. Oh boy, not a great view of it, but you can see how wide it is, and double bridge action here as we're going west, and the other side would be east, right? So there you go, Mississippi River. And the special added feature of you're now in Louisiana. So how about that? The border of Mississippi and Louisiana, right in the middle of the Mississippi River. How special a moment of travel that this is. Courtesy of Plane and Traffic with Mikey Heels. Hey folks, welcome to Plane and Traffic, and today's episode is going to remember a time in this country's history that you know, is just absolutely monumental. Okay, and even more like this time of year where we're approaching election of our next president, the voting process. You know, that's been absolutely a point of concern for many people. Today I am in Selma, Alabama, to talk about an event that happened here. And let me just put this in perspective right here. See, here's a marker right here for these the Washington Carver Homes projects, and you can see the significance of this, but even more so is right here. I love this brick right here. These are the steps leading to the Brown Chapel AME Church. And on March 7th, 1965, Black Americans, they congregated right here, right in this spot. A very promising day, at least from their perspective, I'm sure, in the sense that there was a march planned, and was close to maybe 600 people here. A march planned to go to, I believe it was the state capitol in Alabama, in Montgomery. And there, Black Americans were going to protest the fact that they were being prevented from voting. And what was still in place with segregation here, right? So you have a congregation of 600 people right here planning on a march to protest their inability to vote, among other things. Okay, it wasn't just voting, it was a whole lot of things being addressed with this march. And I'm going to take you to a place where yeah, it's just I'm going to take you to another place, another moment in time from that day, March 7th, 1965. And before I head to that spot, I just want to show, look at the beautiful bust here of Martin Luther King Jr. And this really tells the story of March in 1965. And I believe this March 21st was the third attempt that month to march, the 50-mile march from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, state capital. And there was a lot, the opposition to this was absolutely insane. But it happened on that, well, you know, it finally happened on March 21st, 1965. Today, we're going to a location. Absolutely wanted to stop at the Brown Chapel. But we're going to go to a location where that first attempt at the march to the state capitol in Montgomery, we're going to go to where that spot ended on that day, March 7th, 1965. That's where we're headed right now. So the march ended up on this road right here, heading towards Montgomery, Alabama. And you'll see there the name of the bridge, which I think it's even time to stop right here before even move any further. It's pretty here though. So Edmund Pettus, wow. Anytime you have a bridge named after you, that's really telling people something, right? It's telling people, wow, this is an innovator, you know, an inventor, an icon of sorts, right? For just change the world, change things, major things in our community, etc., 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 etc. In this gentleman's history, he has was the Grand Dragon of the KKK. And then a senator. How about that? So I think there's a point where, knowing that right there, so he was the Grand Dragon of the Ku Klux Klan, and then senator of the United States. And if that don't tell you, if that don't send a message to the world, even more specifically the United States, about the South, if that don't tell you, I don't know what will. The message is loud and clear. They were not, this was going to stay segregated, regardless of what happened. I have a video of, that I'll post in the description, of the riots, the Birmingham riots. What triggered the Birmingham riots. And not that long after, yeah, so following the Birmingham riots, then there was 4 young girls that were killed in a church right around the corner from the hotel that was bombed. And then that set the wheels in motion for the Civil Rights Bill. And I think that came into place in 1964. But they were not recognizing that everywhere, okay? That was not happening everywhere. And it certainly wasn't happening here. And in this location right here, an absolute abomination of an event happened. And I'm going to post some pictures of it. And there's plenty of video and documentary footage of this. But this right here, Montgomery side, the Montgomery, Alabama side. You know, this is probably still Selma. But so the 600 folks that were marching that day, March 7th, 1965, crossed this bridge. Okay, I just have a problem saying this guy's name, so I'm just going to not do it. That's my own protest. So they crossed this bridge, and we're met right here by white opposition. And that was basically saying, no, you are not, you're illegally getting together, right, to do this march, and blah, 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 blah. And there was a conversation attempted by the, say, African Americans, and the whole group with the white folks were all on this side, and they were not hearing anything. And actually, what the reality of it was, the authorities on this side of the bridge knew they were coming, I guess days prior. And I guess the sheriff, he deputized every white male 21 and over to be right here, to be right in this location right here, to confront the nonviolent, peaceful march of protest right here. And that was to confront them and make sure they went no further than this spot. And what ensued after that was basically horrific. Scary stuff to read. What I don't think the opposition on this side, I'm not saying they really cared, but I don't think they realized that there was the coverage of this march to the state capital of Alabama by 600 African American. These are leaders too, right? To John Lewis. After the bombings, after the 4 young girls in Birmingham, Alabama were killed. And that was following the Birmingham riots. John Lewis was part of a group of individuals that started sit-ins, nonviolent sit-ins in, I guess they were, I don't know what they look like, little cafes and whatnot they look pretty popular down here. Maybe they were all over for all I know. So he was a part of a group of people that would have sit-ins, and those sit-ins turned violent. So it would say, no colored allowed, or no colored allowed to sit in so-and-so, in what establishment it was, which was basically illegal. And they would sit there, and then, of course, it would turn violent. They were even saying John, who became a congressman in the United States, John had the scars forever on his body from that. John also led that march, was right front and center of that march on March 7, 1965. Oh, by the way, it's entitled Bloody Sunday. There were news crews taking footage of this, like recovering this event. And they were all positioned behind me on this side, shooting towards where the bridge empties out, heading towards Montgomery. And they filmed it all. And the people that weren't aware of what was going on, just for starters, in the Selma area, were in shock. And there had to be a reaction from Washington over it, because it was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. And that, I think, paved the way for a second. And there was a second attempt on March 9th, 1965, and then a third attempt March 21st of 1965 to do the 50-mile walk to the state capitol. They were averaging 10 miles a day on that walk. And that brought about, there's a mural here. So Bloody Sunday, and then the ensuing successful march to Montgomery worked in, the Voters' Rights Act of 1965, that was penned in, I'm saying penned, August 6, 1965. And that was to protect African Americans' right to vote. And it was amended 5 times to continue making adjustments so that they could be protected with their rights to vote. I'm gonna put a picture up of Amelia Boynton, and it's like there was it was. I got a feeling that if those cameras weren't running that day, the news cameras weren't running, this whole situation, if as bad as it was, I think there would have been casualties. It was absolutely brutal. It was a young girl, 14 years old. I don't know how many stitches she got. It was just absolutely just a horrible thing to see. Folks, I want to thank you for watching today. This location is it should be very important to all Americans, all people all over the world. The significance of this spot. I think part of the reason why this gentleman's name's still on this bridge is just to remind people of the reality of the way things were. Are we better overall? Yes, we're better overall. Yes, we're better overall. Is there work to be done? Oh yeah. Oh God, yeah. No doubt about it. I'm thankful there's been progress, because there was a point where I couldn't marry the person that I love dearly. And I have Mildred Loving to thank for that. And, you know, and that's something that I remind myself all the time. And, yeah, so from the bridge, the Selma to Montgomery Bridge. This has been Mikey Heels for Playing in Traffic. And have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow, and go out and vote. So I'm on my way back to Selma on the bridge, and I did notice on a marker back there that this is the Alabama River that the bridge crosses. Just giving you a little vibe of what it looks like, and it looks like it's its original exteriors, you know, like. So this right here is Broad Street leading up to the bridge, and that cross street on the Selma side is Water Street. So Water and Broad is that intersection that leads onto the bridge.